Everyone has these in their kitchen, these bananas that are going bad, but I've been searching on Instagram to find recipes, healthy recipes, because I started lifting weights, I started working out again, and I want to be healthy, but I also have a sweet tooth. So I found on Instagram what we can do with these bananas, and I'm going to try to do a little recipe now. Check it out. All right, guys, so the very first thing the recipe calls for is to preheat to 350. It's banana bread, by the way. A little baking sheet here. I put in this parchment paper to make it easier. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna spray it with a little coconut oil, which again is pretty healthy stuff. Make it easy. When it's all said and done, make it easy to come out of the pan so nothing sticks. All right, guys, so the recipe calls for 2 bananas, Greek yogurt, vanilla extract, eggs, oats, maple syrup, and it calls for regular flour, but we're gonna try almond flour instead, because it's my understanding that almond flour is healthier than regular flour. Now I hope that it doesn't mess up the recipe, but this is what we're gonna try. So let's get right into it now. All right, guys, I have this dish rag on my shoulder, because when you put a dish rag on your shoulder, it makes it look like you know what you're doing, which I absolutely don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna put it there because I think it makes me look like a cook. Let's go with the eggs. Now 2 bananas, 2 very ripe bananas is what the recipe calls for. Well, that's a little too ripe, so we're gonna take that little yucky part off. Okay, a little vanilla extract. It says about 1 teaspoon, but we're gonna eyeball it. Half a cup of Greek yogurt. This one has 15 grams of protein. So like essentially you're having like a healthy dessert when it's all said and done. Now my wife always tells me that when you bake, you're supposed to follow exactly. We're not following exactly with the flour because we're supposed to be using regular flour, but we're gonna try to use exact measurements when it comes to all the other ingredients, well, to all the ingredients with the exception of the substituted almond flour. Half a cup of Greek yogurt. Tons of protein in Greek yogurt, of course. Now we're gonna start mashing up all this stuff in there, and before we start to incorporate some other things. I could smell the Greek yogurt. It smells actually pretty good. Now I'm gonna add some maple syrup. It calls for 6 tablespoons of maple syrup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect amount of this little thing that we had in the pantry. I think that the maple syrup is probably for sweetness. So take a look what it looks like. All the wet ingredients. Now it wants 3/4 of a cup of oats. So we're gonna do that now. That's 1, 2, 3/4 of a cup of oats, and let's incorporate that. And it's still very liquidy to give you a sense. And lastly, 1 1/4 cup of flour. So again, we're gonna use the almond flour. And it says to slowly incorporate the flour. Right, so this is 1. Now it's thickening up a little bit. And here's the 1/4. Now we're gonna pour it right into the bread dish. I'm craving something, especially at nighttime when I'm sitting around watching TV, and I don't want to eat junk. I want to be in shape. All right, guys, so that's what it looks like. Let's open this up. It's preheated to 350. I'm gonna get this bad boy in there. All right, and you're gonna bake it I'm gonna put the timer on for around 40 to 50 minutes. So let's say timer, 40, start. And we're gonna come back and see what happens. Now, by the way, you could add chocolate chips. I just don't have chocolate chips, but the recipe does call for chocolate chips. And I don't want to use like milk chocolate because, again, I'm trying to be healthy and stay away from the sugar as much as possible. So we'll see you in 40 minutes. All right, guys, so the timer just went off, or the 1 minute mark went off. We have 30 something seconds and we're gonna check on it now. All right, guys, you can hear the timer just went off. So let's take a look inside, see what it looks like. Oh, it's got a nice brown kind of crust on the top. So let's do the, what do you think? More?
No, it's good.
You sure? Okay, mommy knows best. All right, guys, we're gonna let it cool for probably a good half an hour, and then we're gonna pull it out and we're gonna see if it's awesome. And in the meantime, I'm not gonna show her face, but my wife is making a bolognese sauce. Look at that. She's got a little garlic. She's got all the spices. It's a crock pot dish. Yes. All right, guys, so here we are about a half an hour later. It's still a little bit warm, but it's very much cooled down from coming out of the oven. And we're gonna put it on a plate. Looks perfect. Doesn't that look nice? So I guess that the almond flour would work. I was a little concerned that it wouldn't set up as well as regular flour, but it does seem to be setting up. So we're gonna let it sit for a good another 20 minutes to a half an hour, and then we're gonna try it. I'm probably gonna drizzle a little almond butter on top because I'm a big peanut butter guy. So almond butter's a little bit healthier. We're gonna tell you how it came out in terms of taste. All right, guys, now it's time to do the taste test. And look inside, looks beautiful. I'm gonna put that right there. Got a little almond butter from Trader Joe's. And now is the moment of truth. Delicious. I definitely taste banana. I can taste the oats in there as well. And the almond butter gives it like a little extra something. Almost like you have like icing on the top of it, but it tastes just like regular cake. Or it has the consistency of regular cake. It doesn't feel like a healthy treat. But guys, bananas, oats, almond butter, almond flour, all healthy things that are in here. There's nothing, Greek yogurt, there's nothing in here that's bad for you. So, I don't know. I'm enjoying it. Subscribe to the channel.